First question, can you introduce yourself in a few words?
Yeah, so my name is Juho Ylinen. I'm 27-year-old university student from Finland. I live in central Finland in a city called Jyväskylä. I live here with my girlfriend and our dog. And as I said, I study at university. I'm doing now my master's degree for information technology field. And yeah, so as my sports background, now I could call myself as a trail runner. I've done different kind of sports, indoor sports and other sports as well. But now I'm doing a trail running thing, and I guess I'm at elite level. I'm not professional athlete, but I think I'm not too far either to be that kind of athlete. But let's see in future how it end up.
What was your first sport?
I have done ice hockey mostly. Like I've played ice hockey more than 10 years in my life, but I've done also like football and basketball. But yeah, ice hockey was the first one.
So now we can see that you're running on different grounds, like on tracks, trail, but also not as much, but on the road, and even in orienteering races. Like, why is it important for you to be able to run on different grounds, and is it having a good impact on you?
Yeah, first of all, I got into endurance sports based to orienteering. So I've been the first orienteer, and after that, I was a bit fed up doing orienteering. I've never been too good at orienteering, like technical wise. So I ended up running more on routes and trails and even on track. So I enjoy running on different surfaces, and I think like running in forest or running in trail or road is a good, like you can use a bit different kind of muscles when you run on forest or on road, and of course if some type of muscle is are really tired after running some uphill trainings or something, then you can go to run on flat roads and get good training still, or vice versa. So, and of course, I think to be a good trail runner, you have to be really versatile, like in different kind of aspects in running. So you have to be fast, but of course you have to be strong on uphills, and technical wise you have to be really good on downhills. So I think different kind of environments and surfaces are really good. So you can like you can benefit running on different kind of surfaces, and of course it's mostly because it's fun. Like
Yeah.
I enjoy doing flat road intervals and sometimes like test myself on a track race. But yeah, mostly I enjoy the trails at this moment, at least.
And what distance is the best for you?
I would say on race wise, the marathon distance is the best for me.
Yeah.
But also like doing a bit shorter distances on trails is a good, because like yeah, trail marathon can be 4 hours, 5 hours. So it's really different than road marathon, which is just like a bit more than 2 hours for the elite runner. So I would say like a race between 3 to 4 hours is the most suitable for me. But I manage quite well on less, like also on races that takes 2 hours or even less. So yeah.
And when you're training for a race, what is the parameter you base your training on? Is it like a heart rate, lactate?
Yeah, I measure my heart rate at least like during the tougher sessions, but mostly I go by feel, and like the feeling is the best parameter for me. And like if I do, for example, some harder sessions, I try to do those on same route or indoor track or treadmill or something, and I try to do like same kind of sessions. So, for example, if I do 10 times 1K with my interest, I can say quite clearly how it's feeling and what kind of splits I'm having compared to the earlier ones. So, if the feeling is bad, splits are bad, then I know that okay, you don't need to push today, or you can like even stop the session. But if it's feeling good, Heart rate is good, feeling is good, splits are good, and you know that okay, now it's going really well, and just trying to enjoy from the training. So I'm not measuring lactate, well, which would be the most accurate one. But
Mm.
on trail running, it's a bit difficult even when you're running like uphill, until you if you have an environment where you end up at the top of the uphill, then you should carry all the equipment with you, and that can affect for the result of the lactate measuring. So it's not that good.
And what does a typical training week looks like for you?
Yeah, I would say I train around 12 times a week. So basically, 5 times a week I do double training. So one session, one training on morning and one in the afternoon, and 2 times a week I do only one training. So yeah, maybe 12 trainings, and typically I do maybe 3 or 4 faster sessions a week, and maybe 2 longer runs and 2 strength trainings. And after that, it's easy to running mostly. I do basically all just like running and some strength training, but I don't do anything like I don't do skiing or
Mm-hmm.
anything more than that. So it includes that's all included. It's maybe around 20 hours a week, and kilometer wise, it's 200 plus. It can be 230, 250 sometimes, but around 210 is maybe the most basic week.
And do you prepare mentally for a race?
Yeah, sure. It's always you need to be mentally prepared when the races are tough. Like if you will run a 4 hour, 5 hour race where you know that you will run fast for your level, and you know that you will be tired at the finish line, and already like after 3 hours you will be really tired. You have to be mentally prepared, and yeah, it's different if you are running some race the first time. You can. It's maybe a bit more difficult for me to be mentally as prepared as I could be like when I will do the route already. Like if I run some race, some like again, for example, I've run Transcan Canada many times, so I knew quite well the route, and I can be mentally prepared when I knew that okay, after 2.5 hours, it's going to feel like this, and you just have to push through it. But like if you're running some race for the first time, you don't have that clear idea, then you just have to like consider like about the length and of the race and how should you feel. But of course you have to be mentally prepared, so you can't go into the race just like feeling that okay, let's see how it goes. Of course you can go like think that let's see how it goes, but it might not be the best solution when you have to have the strategy for the race, and mental strategy is one part of it.
Do you have any rituals or habits before a run?
Actually, no, I don't think I have anything of those. Maybe one thing is that I don't want to go for a run when I'm feeling hungry. So that's like I try to eat and eat early enough. So like I for most of the time I want to eat something like at least 1 hour before the run. So if I want to do a morning run, of course I can do some short morning run without eating if I need to go out early. But if I want to do something more, then I have to wake up a bit more earlier and just eat something and wait for the 1 hour. So it's more easier to run for me.
Okay. You're sponsored by Oka. Which shoes do you prefer to train with?
Yeah, I think Hoka has a really versatile kind of shoes, like something for trails and road, and yeah. But for road, if I would need to choose one like daily trainer that I would use for the training mostly, I would choose Clifton.
Yeah.
And for like harder sessions and racing, I will choose the Rocket X2, the carbon shoe. And for trails, I could do like basically everything with Mafate Speed 4. but
Mm.
I like to race with Tech the Next Tree.
Okay.
So yeah, but there are a lot of shoes.
We know that injuries come quickly, and in a few time in your career, you have chained races in the same week. How do you manage the recovery after a demanding race?
Yeah, for me, I think I have, and I hope I still recover quite fast, like from the races and from training, and that's maybe the most biggest factor for recovering fast because I train quite a lot, so I'm used to for a big load, uh, for a big load of running, especially. So my legs are used to be be tired
Mm.
um, like quite often, and after race I can recover much faster because I've done that training. So that's the biggest factor. But of course, like I think you have to be your nutrition need to be on point. It doesn't need to be perfect. I think you just have to eat enough, like
Mm.
before the races and after the races. If you're like if your nutrition is if you're eating well before the races and especially like during the races, if you have enough carbs and drink, it's easier for your body to recover straight after the race. And like it's the same thing like also after the race that you like eat enough, drink enough as fast as possible like after the race. Of course you don't have to eat huge amount of pasta just after the finish line, but have something like some shake or something and then eat later when you're feeling so that's maybe one biggest thing. And like mentally wise, uh, it depends like if the race has been going good or
Mm.
bad. You have to just reflect how it went. If the race was good, then you're like quite often you're quite like early ready to race again. If the race wasn't like really big one. So if it was like just okay, this was a good race, so I'm happy to do another quite soon. But if the race was bad, then it can be like oh, I need a little break now, and I have to do something different or just do some training and not worry about racing too soon. Or you can either be like that. I just want to get some another race and do a better race. But yeah, I think for me, I have to reflect the race how it has has been
Mm.
and how could I improve and what were like the key points of the race that which made the race good or bad or how could I like change my style in racing the next time. So yeah, but not worry too long about the race and just like continue your life and go towards the next races.
What was your biggest trail challenge? Like your biggest achievement?
Yeah, like I think my best race maybe has have been the Golden Trail Series final last year. I managed to do a good race. I placed 20. So the placing isn't like that fabulous, but the level of the race was like maybe the highest I've ever been. And I did a good race. I followed my strategy, and I could pass a lot of people towards the end of the race, and it was really good day. But maybe the toughest race that I have done was last year, the European
Mm.
Champs in trail running in Annecy. I was running the 58k race, and I was feeling like really tired already after 40k, and my quads were smashed. And but I continued because I knew that okay, it's only like under 20k to go, and the last 20k was really muddy. It had rained a lot before the
Mm.
race, and the route was super muddy, and it was difficult to stay on the trail because it was so slippery and muddy. And during the last uphill, I thought that I'm not able to finish here like with running style. I have to walk all the way to finish, but it ended up quite well. Like I managed to run the last team downhill quite nicely, but of course it was really tough. Like it was the longest like time wise, and I was expecting it to be a little shorter one time wise. So I wasn't too happy when when it took that long, and I was maybe going a bit too fast at some parts of the race because I was thinking that okay, this will last maximum 5 hours for me, and it was 5.5 hours, and it doesn't sound a lot, but yeah, when you have mentally thought that okay, after 3 hours I can feel like this and this, and it's only 2 hours, but it was much more at that point. So yeah.
I feel like 2023 was also a very good year for your personal best, like the half marathon, the marathon, the 10K. You did, I think, maybe your first marathon in 2023 in 2 hours 23. Is that something you'd like to do again, like to beat your record?
Yeah, for sure. Like I I didn't have too much preparation for that marathon. I just uh, I was trying to qualify that year for the Golden Trail final, but I didn't succeed. So I think it was maybe 3 weeks before the marathon. I didn't I found out that I'm not going to the final, so just decided that okay, this we have Finnish champs in marathon in 3 weeks. The race was in middle October, so I was just thinking, okay, I will go and try run. So I did maybe 2 or 3 like trainings in the asphalt. I haven't, I didn't train on asphalt like too much, like in months or at least in weeks. So I just did a few workouts on asphalt and tried how fast I can run on the marathon. Yeah, the circumstances in Finland in mid-October aren't usually the most like they aren't the best ones. And during the day, it wasn't the best one. It was quite cold, maybe +5, +6 degrees and raining. So I was thinking that if everything goes well, I can run like 2:20. But I ran 2:23 and I was third on that race. So it was okay. I didn't bonk. I ran the second half a bit slower, but yeah, it was okay. But I think like even on that day I could have run 2:20 with a better circumstances and in a bigger company that like if you have a big group to run with on marathon, it's better. But sure, I would like to give a shot like in some big marathon race in somewhere in Europe, like Valencia or some other big race. And I hope I could go at least under 2:20 with a good preparation and I don't know, maybe a bit faster even, like if everything goes right, maybe 2:18, 2:17. But yeah, I have to take a shot still like during the coming years to try.
I went last year for 6 months in Finland, and it was pretty hard for me to find some place to run like in trail running. Do you have like special spots? Is it hard for you to find those places, or is it easy?
Yeah, it depends. If now in winter time, the condition of the trails varies a lot. There are snow trails, but like at this moment, the trails are really bad because it has been raining and the temperature has been like +2 all the time. So it's really soft and icy because yeah, it might be some -degrees during the night, some nights, and I don't want to go to the trails at this moment, but sometimes during the winter days, the snow trails are like really good. They're like faster than on summertime because it's really flat and like people has walk with their dogs out there and it's good. But of course, in summertime, we have a lot of forests and like the place where I live in Jyväskylä, the trails are starting like basically 100 meters away from our apartment door, so it's easy to find those trails. But of course, you need to have maybe some hints where the best trails are because yeah, in Finland, like some trails just end up somewhere in the middle of the forest, and then you have to come back to the same trail, and it might not be the best one, but yeah. I enjoy also like planning the routes for trail runs and use quite a lot of time for that when I'm going somewhere where haven't been before or I want to do some like really nice loops. So yeah, but here where I live in US, I know quite well like all the trails like quite which are close to me or even not that close. But I've tried to seek all the trails from this forest here.
Do you have an unusual anecdote, unexpected moment in trail, like something that happened to you?
Well, it's maybe more than like off trail. The first thing that popped into my mind about this question was like that it was some years back when I was doing orienteering. It was in Spain, and I was basically just like doing some orienteering and then crossing some paths. And there was two-person enjoying from each other's. They were making love in the middle of the forest, and like it was quite weird moment when I saw them. They saw me, and I continued just like my training, and
What a
it was
strange
like
meeting.
nothing happened. Like
Yeah,
yeah, it was.
that
Yeah,
is
that's
pretty
maybe the most
unexpected.
weird.
Yeah.
But of course, like in Finland, I have seen we don't have any wild like dangerous wild animals here in Finland. Or we have some, but mostly they're not dangerous for human. They might be
Mm.
dangerous for another animals. But yeah, I've seen mooses and some big animals like and being like really scared of those because they might be like standing still, not moving at all, and all of a sudden it starts to run like really fast,
Mm.
like 20 meters ahead of you, and you're like almost sitting in your pants and like, what just happened? Like, but yeah, they're like you don't see those like every summer or too often, but they're always like something that you will remember after.
Who has helped you the most in this field?
Yeah, uh, for me, there's been like quite a many people. I can say like any people that has been like
Yeah.
really the most. Of course, like for my personal life, my parents and my girlfriend has been affecting, and like they are like the most important persons in my life. So they're like cheering, and especially my girlfriend, she needs to like she needs to like sell for my like schedules quite often. Like I'm going somewhere and she has to take care of the dog and
Mm.
stuff like that, and doing compromises more than me. So I really appreciate that, and like hope that I can somehow pay back
Mm.
some years if I like. I hope that she doesn't feel like that I should pay back, but of course I want to do something, and of course I want to act the same for her hobbies and stuff she likes to do. But yeah, so sports wise, I have looked up like for many athletes, and they're not maybe all related to trail running, but some other sports as well. So I'm just like inspired for many athletes and their stories. So how they ended up on the level they're at the moment, or why they ended up, and what they did correctly, and what they would like to change in the past if they could.
What are your next goals for this year?
Yeah, for this year I'm running the Golden Trail series. I think I will run 5 races of the series, and hopefully also the final if I qualify there. And later this year there will be trail running world champs where I will run the short trail distance. It will be 45k, so not maybe that short, but basically the marathon distance. So those will be the biggest goals for this year.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to start to run?
Yeah, maybe don't start too fast or don't be too hard for yourself. Like I would find like if you can like if you know that there are like some trails or outdoor roads close to you, you should go there and like just try to enjoy from the nature as a beginning, and then maybe do some running parts. Do like run for 1 minute and then just like walk some more time and recover from the running part and do another minute. And you for your first runs can be like something like that. You don't need to go out and run just like as long as you can and just come back and you're like super exhausted and think that know ever again. Just like go out and try to find a place that you are enjoyed to be there in the environment and do some parts of running. And after a few times doing that, you notice that okay, I could run now like for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And after some time you can notice that okay, I just ran like 5K straight, and
Mm.
you can continue that. And after that maybe like seek more advices, but like don't be too hard for yourself and don't rush. Like there's nothing to hurry. Like you can run like some people can run even when they're 80 years old. So most people have time to run as much as they, or not maybe as much as they would like to, but for a really long time in their life. So yeah.
I chose two questions from the followers. The first one is from Oxa City. What does your race day eating routine look like?
Yeah, I think like my races are mostly run like the races are starting already in the morning. They can start like quite early, like six a.m. or the basic is maybe 9 a.m., 10 a.m. So during the race morning, I just ate maybe some oatmeal and with jam and banana, and then I might might have some bread with it and some kind of coffee. So caffeine might be like energy drink or caffeine gel or
Mm.
something. But maybe the most important thing is the previous days. Like, of course, you have to eat enough, like the previous days, so you have enough energy in your body. And like the day before the race, for me, is like I don't want to eat anymore too much, and I want to eat foods that are easy to digest. So basically, some easy carbs, some rice and pasta for me, and of course, I want to eat some sauce with it. I don't like to eat like plain rice or plain pasta, but I try to reduce the amount of the sauce. So just like have the easy carbs and drink enough
Mm.
during the day. And for me, I usually try to eat a bit more the previous day before the race. I try to eat a bit more during the breakfast and during the lunch, and a bit less like during the dinner. So I'm not feeling too full when I go to sleep. And yeah, again, it's just like uh, my stomach would work better like during the race day, and I would not need to worry about that.
We have the second question from Mathilde. What is the best moment of a trail for you? Is it the beginning, the end, or special moments in between that bring some satisfaction?
Yeah, the race is the best moment is probably the moment when you realize that okay, I will handle this race until the end, and it's going really good. Like that moment can be like
Mm.
some points, sometimes it can be 1 kilometer before finish line, and sometimes it can be already like during the like after half of the race that okay, I will handle this. And yeah, that's a really good moment, and you just like can run the way you want to, and you can have your carbs during the race and drink, and everything's going smoothly. And maybe training wise, it's a bit different. The moment can be like uh, some runs. The moment is that when you get back home or get back to the car and you can just finish the run. But
Mm.
at some moments it can be like you just have like you know that you feel it now the feeling of the body is just really good and you're running quite smoothly and the pace is maybe faster than you thought and like the time is flying. That you just like look at your watch and okay, like 1 hour has passed and it has been like really fast. So, and of course, the environment can change it a lot. So if you're like a cool place, like maybe into some mountains or something, you just like find the place really beautiful and inspiring. So you're just like thinking, yeah, oh, this is really cool, and yeah, now I just have to go home from here, but enjoying from the moment. So yeah, maybe. And the race is it's usually the uh, towards the last part of the race, not maybe the last case if you're like already some suffering there, but yeah, on training it can be the first climb or the last descent. It varies a lot.
If you had to sum up the trail running in one sentence or one word, what would it be?
Yeah, in one word, I would say that trail running is a lifestyle. It's more than just like running. If you go for the races, there's a lot of people that are doing the same races and taking some at least somehow the same as you. But of course, they're different persons. They're different people. They have their own stories, and it's really fun to get to know of those people and like enjoy everything around the races. And yeah, especially when you go abroad and do the races, you have new experiences. You can at least some level like experience new cultures in a good way, sometimes in a bad way also. But yeah, that's it's a lifestyle.
Finally, who do you think should be my next guest?
Whew, that's that's a tough question. I would
Yeah.
say Anders Cervik. He
Okay.
would be a good choice.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.